right. So told myself I need to go ahead and do a video here. And I was looking on like YouTube and Twitter for inspiration. So I came across a couple of stories. But I'm just gonna do one on this one. And this is something I saw. This was in my feed on YouTube. Matthews PD Sergeant choked handcuffed man. Town kept the video secret. Now, this is just my perspective. Not saying it's right or wrong. Just another way of looking at things. And maybe even if I can remember, put some solutions in here, right? Maybe that might work in the future. Let's play this story.
Then back to that video of an arrest uncovered for the first time following a months-long WBTV investigation. Take a look. The video shows what happened when officers with the Matthews Police Department arrested Aaron Butler for being drunk and disorderly in public. The arrest happened more than 3 years ago, but town leaders have kept the video secret, even spending tax dollars to pay a lawyer to go to court to try and keep this video from being released. WBTV's chief investigative reporter Nick Oxner is digging deeper into this story, asking the Matthews town manager why she's spending your money to keep you from seeing the video.
So when you watched that video, what was your reaction?
The video that we watched, it clearly showed that there was a notable violation of our use of force policy.
Matthews Town Manager Becky Hawk answered my questions about this leaked video. Shows a Matthews police officer choking a man whose hands are cuffed behind his back. The town spent months fighting to keep it secret. The sergeant in that video is Joshua Burnett. He was ultimately fired for what you see. According to his termination letter, Burnett lied about what happened. His firing came nearly 2 years later.
We took a look at this, and the violations that we found are in the termination letter, and we feel like that speaks for itself as far as holding him accountable and making sure that he's no longer a part of the organization.
Yeah, but I guess the question is why this person was allowed to continue being a police officer in the town of Matthews for 23 additional months.
I can't go back and discuss what happened in 2021. I wasn't the town manager then. It wasn't something that I was directly involved in. What I can talk about is once I became town manager, we took a look at it, we took decisive action, and he's no longer employed with the town.
Full video of the incident from a total of 4 officers' body cameras has still not been made public. Matthews hired a lawyer to go to court and ask the judge to stop WBTV from being able to get a copy of those videos. That same lawyer is also fighting a lawsuit from WBTV seeking to force the town to make all of the videos public.
How was this incident allowed to fly under the radar for so long?
It's not something that flew under the radar in any way, shape, or form.
This is the first time the public's hearing about this incident.
So I understand that. And so this was a personnel issue. That is how we handle personnel issues. We investigate them, we hold any employee accountable, and we take any action that is necessary, and we then move on.
If we don't have transparency, then people are never going to trust police.
Abe Rupert Schul is a civil rights attorney.
Police cannot choke someone who's restrained.
How important is transparency in cases like this?
It's the most important. If our communities or our state or people in the state of North Carolina lose faith in our police departments, it hurts the police departments, it hurts the communities, it hurts these places where people live and work.
Hawk danced around multiple questions about whether the public deserved to know about this incident.
I'm not here to talk about what should or should have happened in 2021.
Why won't you answer the question, ma'am? It's a simple question. Did the public deserve to know this? Did the public deserve to hear from leaders in the town of Matthews that a police sergeant choked a man whose hands were cuffed behind his back and was allowed to stay on the job for 23 months, continuing as a police officer? Does the public deserve to know? It's a yes or no question.
I don't believe that it is the way that you're painting it, Mr. Oxner. So this was investigated. and we took decisive action. I cannot go back and talk about what should or shouldn't have been done in 2021. I wasn't a part of those decisions.
Reporting in Matthews, Nick Oxner, WBTV, on your side.
Josh Burnett, the sergeant who was fired after being seen choking the handcuffed man, issued a statement saying in part, quote, "While I deeply regret the events of that evening, my intent was to keep Mr. Butler from coming up and falling off the stretcher. While I reacted in an attempt to defuse the situation, I never intended to apply force, harm, or injury."
All right, my fault. So they don't put an ad on here. Like, come on, man. I mean, I get it, but all right. So I just want to go over this story and just the overall. My overall takeaway is that if you look just at the news, how you can, it's a choice. If a person wants to really be honest and talk about this, we can see that these police officers are not moral authorities. They are not more moral than anybody else. They don't have more integrity than anybody else. It's a job, and just like many jobs, some people are good at it, some people are bad at it, and some people, in these cases, are just bad people that work for the police force. And to just try to act like you shouldn't have any discernment or discriminatory um, factors when you're dealing with these people, and that person is not really setting you up for success, I would say. And they probably, I won't say they probably, but when I hear, if you tell me, yeah, trust the police, when we see all these stories, then I'm like, well, this person is an idiot who's telling me this, or they own that mess anyway. Anyway, it goes, it's going to lead to their own destruction, whether they lie to themselves or not. So, messages, if you don't have business with them, just messages, avoid them, basically, because it's just ridiculous. Like the lies, the people, they so evil that they just have to lie about stuff. I remember this one pastor was talking about, he was talking about something about what's done in the dark, and he says, "Man, I'm messing it up, but I can't really do it justice." But basically, what I get from that is a person's true nature is what they do in the dark when they don't think anybody is looking, when they think they can get away from it. And too many times, these people, you can have real evil, sick, depraved people. They'll pretend in the light to be something else, but in reality, in the dark, when they can be them true selves, their true selves are not really good people. And the thing is, they just want to continue to lie to the public. But some people in the public will go along with it. It's not to their benefit. But hey, not everybody is on it like that. Some low vibrational people out here. And this guy's low vibrational. It's just from this right here, this statement.
Seen choking the handcuffed man, issued a statement saying in part, quote, "While I deeply regret the events of that evening, my intent was to keep Mr. Butler from coming up and falling off the stretcher."
Yeah. Yeah, he's yelling at the dude. When we look at the evidence and the fact that they were trying to hide everything, I mean, just look at all the whole situation. Like, I mean, ridiculous. Like, and it's like, you get some people, to me, it's a waste of time. I don't want to just say it's stupid, but I'm just saying it's a waste of time to continue to try to get people, well, to continue to pretend that these people are perfect that are in these positions, when we know you don't have to be you don't have to pass moral tests to be a cop. There's some good ones and some bad ones. But then to act like we just supposed to believe whatever they say, I mean, that's ridiculous. And then to try to act like uh, this is a good idea to continue to want to have these kind of people police you without actually trying to do something to set yourself up for success away from them. And this is what I notice about some people. Talking to people, some people don't mind being around people that they don't like. They don't mind being around people that they can argue with around in circles over and over again. And for me, that's just a waste of time, in my opinion. If you into stuff like that, and to me, it's just not a productive person. The devil was into time wasting.
Action, and he's no longer employed with the town.
Full video of the incident from a total of 4 officers' body cameras
He
has
argued with
still
him,
not been
and
made
we
public.
supposed to believe that he
Still
was
not
trying
been-
to
body cameras has still
keep him
not
from
been
falling.
made public. Body
I mean, like,
cameras-
dude, own your evil, and that's what make them sick, because they know it's wrong. I mean, these are some sick people, and it's like, dude, you trying to get me to, you want to eat at the table with these people? Well, for me, then you must be sick. Any black person that's saying, hey, we need to talk to this guy, we need to conform this guy, we need to see the humanity. He has no humanity. See, that's the trick. It's a projection. I mean, it's ridiculous, really.
has still not been made public. Matthews hired a lawyer. Officers' body cameras has
He yelling at him and
still
he
not
helping
been
him up. No, he
officers'
got
body
forceful with him. He
cameras
got
has
frustrated.
Officers' body cameras has still not been made public.
That's crazy.
Officers' body cameras has
And then he goes
officers' body
from
cameras-
that. He's saying, my intent was to keep Mr. Butler from coming up and falling off the stretcher. Right. These guys, man, these are barbarians, basically, man. These folks don't. I mean, they sick. They live off a lie. And then you look at this lady, and these are the people that you have in your the positions to make decisions, and then the people will try to lead you to believe they don't understand why the country is so messed up. Yet they are part of the problem because they keep electing these liars. Now, this guy asking a direct question. When a person can't answer a direct question, typically, they trying to be deceptive, hide something, and maybe not wanting to say something that's not going to fit their narrative.
Where people live and work.
Hawk danced around multiple questions about whether the public
She danced
deserved to
around.
know-
He said she
about whether
danced
the
around
public
multiple questions.
danced around multiple.
It hurts these places.
These are the people you have in charge. People that don't take accountability or responsibility, and then you wonder, and then some of these people wonder, oh, why aren't things getting done? Because you got people in positions that don't take responsibility or accountability. They ain't competent. They not on the up and up. They have no integrity. So if you continue to go along with that, maybe you confused, maybe you blind, maybe you in denial, or maybe you just just like them.
Places where people.
I got not so much patience with people that would say, let me vote for this lady. Or I don't know if her position's elected, but I'm just saying some people will see a person like that, still vote for them, saying that they ain't answered direct questions and letting this BS. Well, technically, I guess she didn't let the BS go on, and she might have been trying to be, technical, but at the same time, if your integrity is not as much as the position, then you are compromised and probably are corrupt or can be corrupted.
In our police departments, it hurts the police departments, it hurts the communities, it hurts these places where people live and work.
Hawk danced around multiple questions about whether the public deserved to know about this incident.
I'm not here to talk about what should or should have happened in 2021.
Why won't you answer the question, ma'am? It's a simple question. Did the public deserve to know this?
Yes, the public deserves to know. We need to know if we got sickos and weirdos, psychopaths on the damn police force. There's been plenty of episodes where DJ Vlad, well, I won't say plenty, but I've seen some where he had crooked cops on there. So it's crooked cops out here. We know it. This guy, a liar, not taking responsibility. The cop in this incident, like, and then they say he was on the force for 2 more years. Like, how many other people did he lie on? How many other incidents like this did he have? And they use the taxpayer dollars to pay for lawyers to keep public information away from you. I mean, the town should be outraged. Like, this happened 3 years ago, and they trying to keep it. They actually fought and paid lawyers to not make it public. Well, if you have nothing to hide, why are you afraid to make it public? That just screams of distrust and someone is not trustworthy. That's another thing with these racists and these weirdos. They not trustworthy. So why even try to bother with them? They in their own world. You should ask them questions. because they in their own, they sick. They're mentally sick. This is crazy. Just looking at this story, 3 years. The dude is on the force for 2 more years after this incident. After he lied, after they fighting to not make it public, and then they got people talking about immunity and the police, and they back the blue. Knowing if it was one of their family members, they wouldn't be. If it was them, the people to say that, if they were in that black guy's shoes or a family member, they would not be saying the same thing. It's just like a pre-programmed thing. These people don't think for themselves. It's a big mistake for people to think that, to people to assume that people think, because most of these people just they they go off of what they hear and what they want to believe that makes them comfortable. And a belief system, in many cases, is tied to their self-esteem. So if you tell them something that's contrary to their belief system and it hurt their self-esteem, they're not trying to really rock with it. Even when there's evidence there, they just they're gone, literally and figuratively, for these atrocities. They are going to be punished. This period.
Did the public deserve to hear from leaders in the town of Matthews that a police sergeant choked a man whose hands were cuffed behind his back and was allowed to stay on the job for 23 months, continuing as a police officer? Does the public deserve to know? It's a yes or no question.
I don't believe that it is the way that you're painting it, Mr. Oxner.
Using the yes or no question, she can't answer that yes or no. Yes, the public deserves to know, and she don't think that, she probably shouldn't be in her position. I mean, or maybe, maybe I'm in a minority, and people don't mind that somebody like that is in position and won't answer direct questions and doesn't think necessary, because she ignored the question. So she said it's not like how he framed it. Well, how is it then? Like, so you're not going to get good results with people that are liars, untrustworthy, don't take responsibility or accountability, because nothing's really going to get done. So as nothing gets done, it decays, and that's what's going on with this country. It's like, dude, what the, and people, a lot of people, they know this. They just like, hey, who not gonna put as much stress on me? Who gonna give them the sleeping gas? Which I guess that's what it is.
So this was investigated and we took decisive action. I cannot go back and talk about what should or shouldn't have been done in 2021. I wasn't a part of those decisions.
Now, she may not have been part of those decisions, but she could have still answered that question.
Reporting in Matthews, Nick Oxner, WBTV, on your side.
Josh Burnett, the sergeant who was fired after being seen choking the handcuffed man, issued a statement saying in part, quote, "While I deeply regret the events of that evening."
Now, and I'm thinking about this, like, what was the culture? It's a fucked up police force. And another thing, I've even been on traffic stops and asked for the police footage, and they try to delay it and things of that nature. So I mean, like I said, you're dealing. I'm not. Another thing, like, these police officers, a lot of them, what I've seen when you go to these courts, is they can act with a certain level of, like, they have a certain level of immunity, because they have, the prosecutor is always going to be trying to defend them. When you get if you get a traffic ticket, the prosecutor is trying to defend them. So the prosecutor is always on their side, whether if he lying, whether he or the police officer, male or female, is lying or not. And I think that's what a lot of people kind of miss too. Like, these people, it's not about justice. It's a, they can get they can get money, but, and also the other thing, like, when people are greedy, they usually get less than what they could have gotten if they were actually acting with integrity. So they can get a little bit of money, you know. Typically, they still not it, you know. Typically, they still not somebody that people really genuinely want to be around if it wasn't for what they might be able to do or what clout they have. And they get it anyway. So they can do all this stuff, and these are basically like hurt people. So very insecure. And you got these people patrolling the streets and not doing anything to actually get the job done and clean up the streets. So when you don't build it, it's just gonna decay. You get people that don't take responsibility or accountability, untrustworthy. Just look at all these other third world countries. That's what happens, and it's happening in their countries. No accountability, no responsibility, untrustworthy. They're not doing what they say they're gonna do at their positions, and the results are not very good. It's just like being the Clippers back in the day. Bad management, bad culture, no winning. You get a new owner up in there, it's been consistent winning. Different culture, different people, different levels of expertise, different reasons for being for being there basically. But this is just another like
Look, the video
just on
TV
YouTube. It's just
investigation.
so many. It's like every day, it's some kind of cop misconduct. I had an incident with a cop where the dude pulled me over. White dude, bald head, looked like that Jim Carrey character on In Living Color. What was saying? The Fire Marshal Bill. He kind of like a bald head Fire Marshal Bill and a balloon with glasses on. Some weirdo looking dude named Officer Erickson pulled me over, claimed that I ran a stop sign, and then was very disrespectful. But um, I made sure I had my camera on, which everybody should do. Like this, like this, and then another story I saw where the dude had the camera, dash cam camera. Like you got to have cameras with these people. I'm not getting into he say she say with liars. I'm always gonna have some kind of proof. I'm not going to waste my time with these sick idiots. It's because it's like this, dude. You a hater. Go about your day. Let me do me. Let me go about my day and be productive. But you so sick and pathetic and bitter. You gotta pull people over. Get the people bringing in the fentanyl and stuff like that, and the pedophiles. Don't spend too much time with law-abiding citizens. That's a bad job to me. Just like this guy, and I'm telling you, that guy who put me over got a he's not as as this guy, but he's got the same tendencies as far as insecurity. It was written out. You see, a lot of times people don't really understand. Like, yeah, I had to deal with and understand people for my jobs.
Take a
The
look. The
dude
video
tried to stop
shows
him,
what
like, "Hey,
happened when
man, now
officers
now
with the
all of these guys compliant too. All of these quote unquote good cops. Now they bad apples because he done corrupted them because they got to hide this and everybody. Like I said, but it's the culture.
Take a look. The video shows what happened when officers with the Matthews Police Department arrested Aaron Butler for being drunk and disorderly in public. The arrest happened more than 3 years ago, but town leaders have kept the video secret, even spending tax dollars to pay a lawyer to go to court to try and
I wonder what he said to him.
keep this video from being released. WBTV's chief investigative
Try
reporter
to
Nick
keep the
Ox-
video from
this
being
video
released.
from being released.
Hiding their actions
WBTV's
from the
chief
public.
investigative
They're
reporter
not
Nick
very
Oxner
proud.
is digging deeper into this story, asking the Matthews town manager why she's spending your money to keep you from seeing the video.
So when you
shit.
watch the
town manager why she's spending your money to keep you from seeing the video.
So when you watched that video, what was your reaction?
The video that we watched,
And this is what I noticed too, like these investigators, like when you talk about like people talk about mainstream media and a lot of the reporters are corrupt. But what I see, like, dude, if you can be an investigator and these are the stories that kind of go viral and stuff like that, when you see stuff like this, it's in their best interest.
So when you watched that video, what was your reaction?
the video that we watched, it clearly showed that there was a notable violation of our use of force policy.
Matthews Town Manager Becky Hawk answered my questions about this leaked video.
I wonder who leaked the video.
Shows a Matthews police officer choking a man whose hands are cuffed behind his back. The town spent months fighting to keep it secret. The sergeant in that video is Joshua Burnett. He was ultimately fired for what
Somebody leaked the video.
According to his termination letter, Burnett lied about what happened. His firing came nearly 2 years later.
We took a look at this, and the violations that we found are in the termination letter. And we feel like that speaks for itself as far as holding him accountable and making sure that he's no longer a part of the organization.
Yeah, but I guess the question is why
the
this
organization
person was allowed to continue being a police officer in the town of Matthews for 23 additional months.
I can't go back and discuss what happened in 2021. I wasn't the town manager then. It wasn't something that I was directly involved in. What I can talk about is once
I wonder how
became
she
town
found out.
manager, we took a look at it, we took decisive action, and he's no longer employed with the town.
Full video of the incident from a total of 4 officers' body cameras has still not been made public. Matthews hired a lawyer to go to court and ask a judge to stop WBTV.
Yes, whose video, whose camera was that?
Public. Matthews hired a lawyer to go to court from being able to get a copy of those videos and ask a judge to stop WBTV from being able to get a copy of those videos. That same lawyer is also fighting a lawsuit from WBTV seeking to force the town to make all of the videos public.
How was this incident allowed to fly under the radar for so long?
It's not something that flew under the radar in any way, shape, or form.
This is the first time the public.
She says it's not flying under the radar in any shape or form.
Isn't it allowed to fly under the radar for so long?
It's not something that flew under the radar in any way, shape, or form.
This is the first time the
public. I wonder what she means by that. Were they talking about it? Like, what does that mean? She said it wasn't something that flew under the radar. Well, the public didn't know about it.
Not something that flew under the radar in any way, shape, or form.
This is the first time the public's hearing about this.
So I understand that. And so this was a personnel issue. That is how we handle personnel issues. We investigate them. We hold any employee accountable, and we take any action that is necessary, and we then move on.
If we don't have transparency, then people are never going to trust police.
Abe Rupert Schul is a civil rights attorney.
Police cannot choke someone who's restrained.
How important is transparency? How important is transparency?
Someone who's restrained. Police cannot choke someone who's restrained.
Attorney.
Police cannot choke someone who's restrained.
How important is transparency in cases like this?
It's the most important. If our communities or
so that's people when they say I can't breathe, need to say you choking me. You cannot restrain. You know
our
just
state
say,
or
just say
people
they
in the
choking
state of North Carolina lose faith in our police departments. It hurts the police departments. It hurts the communities. It hurts these places where people live and work.
Hawk,
man, I've been stopped trusting the police. Most black people don't trust no police. These people is crazy to even try to come with that.
On multiple questions.
No black people really trust the police. None. Black people do not be trusting the police like that, or at least a lot of the people I know. Nobody, no black people, like for real, unless they. I mean, I don't know. I don't know too many. I mean, that ain't something we talk about with as far as trouble. We don't even want to when the police are around us, like the cars and stuff like that. When you driving, people don't want the police around. They don't trust the police.
Multiple questions about whether
because we know they just people, and some of them is good, some of them is good, some of them bad. But who want to waste their time dealing with one of the bad ones? So unfortunately, sometimes you just gotta, just like how some of them white folks do, black folk. Oh, just they throw us all in the same bag a lot of times. So hey, that's what we got to do with them.
Public deserve to know about this incident.
That just
I'm
makes
not
sense
here
to
to
me.
talk about what should or should have happened in 2021.
Why won't you answer the question, ma'am? It's a simple question. Did the public deserve to know this? Did the public deserve to hear from leaders in the town of Matthews that a police sergeant choked a man whose hands were cuffed behind his back and was allowed to stay on the job for 23 months, continuing as a police officer? Does the public deserve to know? It's a yes or no question.
I don't believe that it is the way that you're painting it, Mr. Oxner. So this was investigated and we took decisive action. I cannot go back and talk.
Well, I wonder if there's like an update on this, because it said after a whistleblower leaks video. That's interesting that it was a whistleblower that leaked the video. So I guess there were some good people in there. It said no longer employed with the town. Now he's most likely working for a nearby town, holding him accountable 2 years later. But us regular citizens will go to jail immediately. She's just saying, like, yeah, I mean, so these comments ain't really seeming like they kind of rocking with what that lady was saying. And this is the problem. Like, you got people in these positions that don't know what the hell they talking about. They out of touch. They'll lie to you at the drop of a dime. You know, they used to lying to themselves. So it is what it is. It's about habit. Once you get into that habit of lying like that, it's over. They lying to themselves big time. And got to pretend. Said pretty pathetic. It took 2 years and a failed cover up for the officer to get fired. Yeah, that's crazy. Said police should be 100% transparent. That's right. And that's what I'm talking about. Like this kind of, and of course, sometimes I'm wrong. You know, I don't know everything, and like I said, most things I don't know. But I was just kind of going off the what they were saying. But it looks like it said people are liking like this style because it's kind of like people. What I noticed is people like to see other people get grilled anyway. But it said the interviewer kept the pressure on her in this question because it's like a conflict. It's like selling a fight. It's like hype. That's what I kind of got from it. When he was asking her these questions and then kind of calling her out, it's like it's entertainment. It's hype. It's almost like he was trying to get her with a gotcha, which I don't really like those kind of conversations a lot of times. But in this case, since it's like it's almost like he was exposing it though, the hypocrisy of the person. It says, I love when these stories are broadcast on mainstream media. Good job, WBTV. So, like I said, the people like this kind of stuff. He says he says she practiced her lines and stuck to her lines. Didn't she? Right. He said, and the black cop stood there looking scary in disbelief. Yeah. What are you going to do? I hope you don't think he part of the team.
Take a look. Look, the video shows what happened when officers with the Matthews
Ain't no way,
Police
man.
Department.
Look, black folk need to, like, we got to have our, like, the one dude, the one black dude to be trying to run with Trump. Let me see here. I'm trying to Google it real quick. Trump black running mate. See who pop up. He was a guy who just said something about Jim Crow. Byron Donalds is his name. So Byron Donalds, it was a video clip of him when he was talking about that whole thing. See, they want to talk about Jim Crow and all this. Like, this lets you know the priorities and the fact that these folks, if these are the people that you look to be your leaders and your information, as stupid as they are and as low vibrational and as the fruits don't justify the fruit that they bear don't justify them being leaders or anybody to to follow unless you cool with settling for bad fruit and bad deals. Some people are good with that, but one thing he said in that video, he said he not just into jobs, he into creating generational wealth, and I would think like a lot of people would probably think like that, and but a lot of people don't really think like that. It seems like, because one thing I would think of is get a job, get a nice significant other, create a family, create generational wealth, and then create a culture of prosperity and success. But not everybody is really thinking like that. And my thing is, well, I would want to be away from people like
Arrested
this
Aaron Butler.
because they are troublemakers and they time wasters and they are miserable people, and they make you miserable when you're around them.
Take a look. The video shows what happened when officers
To
with the
me,
Matthews Police Department
but
arrested
some
Aaron.
people don't mind being around people they don't like. I had a lady tell me she to keep her enemies close. I mean, it's good to know what your enemies are doing, but I really don't want to be around them and arguing with them. She said this right after she told me that some guy got shot. Like, if you shooting people, you beefing. You got some kind of beef with the person. And if y'all in the neighborhood and y'all beefing with each other and y'all around each other, then that's a problem. I think it's best to
There
get away from
was
people you have issues with. If they ain't willing to, if you're not willing to, be mature and be productive, and vice versa, then you got to get away from certain people, because everybody ain't gonna be on your side or want to see you succeed. There's a lot of jealous people out here. There's a lot of jealous people out here. So you need to get with the people that actually can produce,
So when you
looking to improve. Dr. George Fraser told a group of us, make a commitment to self improvement, a lifetime commitment to learning and self improvement. That's great advice, because we always need to be learning and self improving, because there's things we wrong about, it's things we don't know about, even things we think we right about right now. So making that commitment to learning and self improvement kind of puts the ego in check to a certain extent, because we understand that, hey, what we know today might be different tomorrow. But I'm not trying to conform no evil folks. I want them gone. And the forces that get them up out of here, I'm not gonna get in their way. If anything, I'm gonna kick them while they kicking them. We're gonna jump them. I guess. I mean, I'm just different. I guess in certain ways I view things. I don't know, but like I said, I'll let you know if they need to be punished, which we can all agree. The universe agrees that, hey, it is what it is. I'm getting out their way, and I'm gonna make sure that stand my ground in the meantime. But just looking at this story, just more corruption,
watch that video,
and it just shows that we need to be doing more. Definitely we got to elect. We got to get more people it's crazy because it's like people are disenfranchised, people from all different walks of life and races, and they would like to do more, I think, but a lot of times people think they just voting somebody in and just say they're gonna do something and not following up. You really got to follow up. Like this, like I said, the school systems don't really tell you how to show you how to be a leader. They don't show you how to, really improve your country. I don't think, because we need to be trying to improve our country for sure, so that way it don't decay. But yeah, I just ended on that.